everyone! Here's a new chapter of my Farren Dale Kingdom story. Last time, our main cast, the Princess Amber Willow and her partner Louisa, set off to visit their cabin retreat tucked darkly in the woods. They sought to share their leftover meal with a dragon, Lord Hemlock, who has been residing there. To the couple's surprise, they are bombarded with Fibbeus. He is a hyena friend from a nearby village, very excited about the pizza they brought, thinking it is for him. The couple gladly share the rest of it with him, but ask if he might be kind enough to share a bit with Hemlock the dragon as well. The couple finds out that Hemlock is no friend of Fibbeus. In fact, Fibbeus shows great attitude towards disliking dragons. Why is this? And can the couple help their furry friend overcome what it is that's been bothering him about these magnificent creatures? Let's find out. Here the story continues. Taking one look to the side, Fibbeus jumped. "Oh, you didn't actually say there was a dragon?" He gulped. Right over yonder," Fibbeus said very nervously. He began to fiddle with his paws and angrily tore bites of the cheesy and veggie-filled food angrily. He nervously looked around and began to worry. He rambled, and fear overtook him. Willow stopped him before he got worse, and put a hand on his shoulder. "Fibbeus, no, stop this. You don't have to share it with him. I just don't understand what's the matter with dragons," she said. She looked sorrowfully into his golden eyes. He had been through a lot, misunderstood, and had bad habits too. She could not believe that Fibbeus hated the scaly creatures just for no reason at all. Fibbeus sighed, and he sat down on the grass. He plopped down and his tail curled around him. The two sat down with him. Amber Willow reached forth and picked a clover, four-leafed one that she had spotted as they conversed. She handed the little green-petaled piece of earth to the hyena. He took it and admired it quietly before speaking. Finally he spoke. "Well, guys, you're the only ones I actually really trust, so you wouldn't mind if I share a little something, don't you?" he said. Louisa and Willow shook their heads. "Not at all, Fibbeus. Please feel free to tell us anything," they said. He got ready to speak. "It was when I was a cub, left on these streets of the village that night in the rain. Oh, it all comes back to me now. It is just so painful, I can't even begin to explain. The first thing I remember of this new life, cold and afraid, was nothing other than hatred, unwanted and undeserved hatred. I walked the streets shivering and weak. My ears wouldn't have anything to keep them warm. Time after time would someone walk by the alleys and toss a piece of bread or cored apple my way." Willow teared up. "So, you've been there your whole life?" she asked. Fibbeus panted. Pretty much, Princess. Anyways, ever wonder where I got this from?" he asked. Fibbeus held out his paw and pushed aside a small patch of spotted fur. There was a small scar on his palm. He began to run his fingers over it as he crunched backwards with a sudden ouch. He spoke. I guess it still leaves an owie here and there somehow. I try to be gentle with this paw," he said. "But what happened shouldn't have ever happened to something so small as myself, so young and unknowing and undeserving. One night, laying in a small trunk, I saw something glowing from the corner. The hay inside the trunk was warm, so I decided to spend the night there. To get out of the rain. Never did my little mind wonder why. Now, I would have assumed now that something was already occupying the space, but that was not a welcoming space. I scooched to the corner, but something came out of the darkness with shimmering eyes. The creature was scaly, and had little sharp horns, wings thin and bat-like, and... He stopped talking and sniffled. Willow held his hand and gave him time to explain. He spoke once more, when he found the gumption. "Well, I tried to run as fast as I could away from it. This was obviously not a trunk for little me. I remember the splashing of wet rain on the cobblestones as I ran through the streets. Everyone I looked up at could care less. To them this was just a nuisance creature they saw every day. But not me. It was the size of me. I had only one bit of food I could obtain, and it wanted it. When I protected the little brittle piece of toast, it snagged it, clawing it out of my hand for itself to gobble up. Selfish, insignificant little piece of bread. The dragon left, uncaring and cold. I can remember sitting there, tears in my eyes, holding my paw, breadless, and with a new scar. The streets scare me so much. This is why I will never, ever share my food with a dragon. They disgust me. Who knows, he said. Maybe if I had that bread, I would have been a little bit more healthy and a bit more secure and a little more fuller of a tummy, but not one bit. Oh, they watched me wither away there for over 20 years. Ugh, fools, he said. Willow looked at him caringly, both her and her partner in tears, Fibbeus too. He had gone through so much as a little cub, never gaining any of the help he needed for so long, and no wonder dragons scared him. Willow spoke. I understand, Fib. You don't want to ever relive the memory of someone else taking from you, especially a creature so close to what had left you with nothing. We understand. Maybe one day you'll meet another dragon willing to be giving and loving. Like Hemlock, but it is up to you, she said. Fibbeus sighed. That is true. It doesn't make it right what how the creature treated me this way, but I might see now that he also had been in my same shoes, cold, wet, and hungry. Maybe I could try again with dragons, but only nice ones, and only with you, Princess. You'll protect me, wouldn't you? He asked. Willow helped stand him up to his feet. Of course, Fibbeus, I promise. Nothing will go wrong, or I have the worst taste in dragon friends. To be continued.